Hello, parents and families. This is Mrs. Jenkins coming at you with another virtual school parent pro tip. This time, I want to give you some ideas for things you can do for daily practice with your child at home. Now, of course, we know we're all at home doing virtual school. And there are certain things that we as kindergarten teachers do with the students every single day in order to enhance their skills and help them to grow. Of course, we're not with the students, so we can't do these things on a daily basis, but here's where you can come in and really help us out tremendously. So I'm going to give you a list of a couple things you could do with your child every day for practice at home. First up is name writing. Now, this is something we hit really big at the beginning of the school year because when children come into kindergarten, some do not know how to write their name. Some have been writing their name, but they're using all capitals, or maybe they don't know all the letters in their name. So name writing is huge at the beginning of kindergarten. It's something that we practice every single day for the first few months of school. This is something that's really hard for us to do from at home, but it's something that you could do. What we would like to ask is that you have your child practice writing their name every day, and not just writing their name, but writing it correctly. So what we're teaching is the first letter of their name should be capitalized. All the rest of the letters in that name should be lowercase. And that's a really big thing we hit. So that is something you can practice at home every day with your child. The second thing we'd want to encourage you to do is something called rainbow writing. And rainbow writing is where a child writes a word. So let's say their name. We start off with name. They write the word with a color. Then they go back and choose a second color and trace on top of what they already wrote. Then they can do it again a third time, a fourth, a fifth time, however many times that you want them to do it. So at the end, their word looks like a rainbow. So from a kid's perspective, it's a lot of fun. They're making a rainbow and they enjoy rainbow writing. But from a teacher perspective, we're having them practice writing that word correctly over and over and over again. So rainbow writing is something that we want to encourage you to do with your child that's fun and also helpful every day. Number 3, cutting practice. Cutting is something that we do with kindergartners practically every single day. Why do we do cutting practice? Mainly because it builds their fine motor skills. It builds their strength and their hand-eye coordination so that when it's time to do writing, their hand will be strong enough to do that. Now, I'm planning to make a separate video on cutting ideas to get you started, but cutting is something your child can do every single day that will actually help them with their academics. Number 4, counting objects. This is critical. This is something we do every single day in kindergarten. It is such an important skill, and it's something that we want to hone in on and get right here early in kindergarten. At home, have your child count any and everything. So if you're doing laundry and you've got a pile of socks, have them count the socks. If you're pouring cereal into the bowl, pour a few on a napkin and have them count the cereal. Everything that you encounter in your day-to-day life, incorporate counting. It's really, really important that kids know how to count objects, they know how to count accurately, and that they know what to do when they miscount to go back and count again. And this is just a skill that a child will only learn it from doing it every single day. So have your child count objects. Number 5, draw and write. This is something we do every day in the kindergarten classroom. We are teaching all kinds of fine motor skills, how to form letters, how to draw a person, how to illustrate a story. All of those things start from just getting down with paper and pencil and crayon and actually drawing and writing. The more your child draws and writes, the better their skills will be. We also want to encourage you, please do not draw for your child. Drawing is a way of expression. It's a way of telling us about their world. It's a way of understanding stories that they read. So don't draw for them. Instead, maybe you can get down on the ground and draw with them. You can have a paper, they can have a paper. You both draw, you write together. Make it fun. Number 6, last but certainly not least, is read, read, read. We hope that this is something that you have already been doing with your child. But if you haven't, today's the day to start. The more you read to your child, the better of a reader they will be. So incorporate reading into your everyday life. You can read books, you can read magazines, you can read the flyers that come in the mail, you can read signs on the store. Reading, reading, reading is so important, and it's so important for them to hear you reading out loud to them. So please read with your child every single day. And that's all for now, but we want to say thank you so much for being your child's first teacher and also being our co-teachers now that we're doing kindergarten in a virtual environment.